Hey guys, I'm Alistair and this is the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel. The Aero Glide 3 Gravel version is very much a high stack, max cushion daily trainer, or I guess I'm going to call it a road to trail running shoe because it is designed for gravel running, but it's also fantastic on the roads as well. So when I say gravel running, that's mostly going to be on fire roads or gravel paths, but actually you can take this on light or moderate trails as well. It's very capable, and for that reason, it's a road to trail running shoe. So let's call it what it is. Throughout this review, I will be comparing it to the Aero Glide 3 non-gravel version. This is very much a daily trainer for the roads only. I will be comparing the two because I've had a lot of questions on the channel how these two compare. You know, should I just get the gravel version if this will do road, trails and gravel? Well, it is a little bit more complicated than that after testing them both. As always then, I'm going to start with the key specifications to give you a broader understanding of what this shoe is all about. They cost $160. I'll let you know at the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 9.7 ounces or 275 grams. That's for a size US men's 9, my pair. And they have a drop of 8 millimeters from heel to toe. The upper is using a 3D open mesh with a neoprene style tongue, which is actually very different to the non-gravel version, the standard version. It's got reflective details woven into this upper material as well, and it is very plush and padded around the collars and the heel counter. Super comfortable to slip in, very much like the original version is as well, but it does feel different. The midsole is using Energy Foam Evo geometry with its Optifoam squared foam, which is very soft and it does have a nice amount of response. So the foam does spring back, giving you a nice bouncy ride. The outsole is using Contagrip, and that's Salomon's trail running traction or rubber compound that they put on all their trail shoes. And it's got some nice chevron lugs, so it will perform very well on dry trails. When it comes to sizing and fit, they're very much true to size in length, but they're actually quite wide. So if you have wide feet, you get a chance to run in Salomon running shoes at last. You're going to enjoy it. It's super roomy, it's very voluminous, so not just for wide feet, it is a lot of volume in there. So if you've got, voluminous feet, they're going to be great. And the toe box is wide as well. It allows your toes to do what they're biologically intended to do. The biomechanics is great. Your toes can splay, they can add pressure, downward force, and propel you forward like they're supposed to. If you had a tight toe box, imagine that. Your toes just can't move out, they can't splay, they can't get surface area and power. So a nice little bit of room in a toe box is always a good thing. If you've got very narrow feet, then you might actually find that these are too wide for you. Maybe sizing down a half size might fix it for you. The lockdown is actually really good in these as well. The non-gravel version does have a very similar fit. It's wide as well, but this one is definitely more breathable. It doesn't have that neoprene tongue, and I just feel like I prefer the upper of this one. It is more comfortable, and better breathability is always a good thing, especially on the trails, because if you do get a downpour, or you do have to cross a little stream or lake or river or whatever happens to be on your trail, then a more breathable upper is going to drain much faster. It's not just for airflow, it actually will drain water much quicker too. So I prefer the upper in the non-gravel version. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give a video a like and comment on this video. I really enjoy it when you guys do that. It lets me know you're watching, you're enjoying my content, and it's also really nice to get to know you better. I've said this before, I really want this channel to be more of a community really. I want to get your input on running shoes as well. So let me know your thoughts on running shoes that I'm reviewing, or maybe shoes that you want me to review. All this information that you're adding into the comments is really going to help future viewers or subscribers because they get to see other people's opinions too. Hopefully my opinions hold enough weight for most people, but a lot of people want to see what other people think of shoes too. So drop all that stuff in the comments. Let's get a massive database of really cool, useful information for people out there. Subscribe to the channel if you want no nonsense reviews. I always keep things genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to help you decide whether or not the shoe I'm currently reviewing is going to be best for you and your needs. But if at any point in my reviews, maybe I didn't answer a question that you had in your mind, drop your question down in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. I always reply to everyone's comments. This is my favorite part of every review because I get to share my valuable insights into how they actually perform on the types of terrains and the scenarios they were designed to be run in. So how does a Salomon Aero Glide 3 gravel perform on gravel? Well, yes, of course, that's the first thing I ran on because, well, that's what they're designed to do best. And I have to say they perform very, very well. This midsole, which by the way is pretty much identical to the non-gravel version. I say pretty much identical. It is identical. The only difference is the outsole, which I have to say is more durable. Just looking at the outsole now, it is holding up much better on the gravel version. And the traction is of course more aggressive. Not hugely aggressive. Don't go taking these on technical terrain because, well, it's just not aggressive enough. The lugs aren't deep enough. But that's not all. Back to the midsole. It is a very soft, cushioned, bouncy, almost plush in some scenarios, midsole foam. Which means if you're not running on technical terrain, you do get a fantastic bouncy ride. But beware, if you're a heavier runner, this ride is going to feel different for you. You might even feel some instability, especially if you overpronate. If that's you, this might be a bit too plush for you and you might feel like they're a little bit unstable or just not supportive enough for your gait. But again, the heavier you are, the more this midsole foam is going to compress. It's going to feel a lot softer for you and potentially more unstable. So do be aware of that. This is a very bouncy, soft running shoe. So the moment you take it on technical trails, you're going to feel like you're wobbling a little bit. I know I certainly do. It doesn't feel the most stable on that scenario, but that's fine. It's not designed for that kind of running. It's called a gravel shoe for a reason. It's going to be best on gravel and road surfaces. The midsole is pretty much the same as the road version. To be honest, it feels like the same shoe if you're running on the roads. It's going to be very hard to tell the difference in ride, but you will notice the difference in the upper. The gravel version just isn't as breathable as this standard Aero Glide 3 version. I do prefer the fit of the standard version, but I do prefer the contour grip traction pattern on this version. It feels more durable. I think it is a different type of contour grip. This one I believe is road contour grip, which is slightly different. It doesn't seem to be as durable. Maybe more sticky, but it wears down faster in my experience so far. Now I'm not sure if the upper is going to be better for you because it's not as breathable. But that's got benefits too. If you are running in colder conditions or you don't run somewhere where it's very humid or hot, then you're not going to notice much of a difference, or you're not going to be worried as much about having a less breathable upper. And of course, if you're not running through water as well. The midsole also has a really, really smooth transition. What I mean by that is because it does have a rocker geometry at the front and a little bit at the heel, this reverse camber. What that does is if you are striking more towards your heel, you get that super soft compression. It kind of initiates the flex on your stride, and then you get a nice rocker at the front, and you just get this really nice smooth rolling transition. And that's not just because of the geometry, which is really well suited to that kind of transition, but it's also this foam here that's just so soft. It just makes everything feel super shock absorbed and smooth. And you're absolutely going to love how that feels on hard surfaces like gravel and road surfaces. So the benefits of the gravel version's upper is, I did mention this before, it's a tighter mesh, meaning it's less breathable, but that tighter mesh does keep dirt and debris out of the shoe, which you're going to experience more on the trails than on the road, of course. So that's why they've made those updates. Yes, it does have benefits for trail runners, but you've got to think about, if you want breathability, more than protection from trail debris like sand and dirt particles. What's my final verdict then? Well, for $160, I'm really loving the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel. It's a fantastic shoe. It has a few changes, not a huge amount of updates to be honest, over the Aero Glide 3. Now, they're both $160, so I can understand why so many of you are confused which one to go for, because shoes that have been adapted more towards being able to run on trails or gravel tend to have more material or different technologies which are more durable and end up being more expensive. But these two are both $160. So yeah, which one do you go for? Well, if you've watched all of this review up until this point, I think you've probably already got a really good idea of which one's going to be best for you. Yes, the Aero Glide 3 is lighter. It's more breathable as well. And although the outsole isn't as durable as the outsole on this gravel version, it's probably fine for road running. If you are running on the roads, then a lighter shoe is always going to be better. This midsole is the same on both shoes. Very cushioned, very soft. A joy to run on, smooth transitions for both, high shock absorption, so if you do need that protection in your joints and you want a nice wide fit, room for toe splay, both of them have that, both of them offer that. But I will say I prefer the upper in the standard version just because it's more breathable. I prefer the tongue as well. It's absolutely huge. I mentioned this in the review. Look at the size of that thing. What a whopper. It just feels awesome how it wraps around the top of your foot. This one has a neoprene tongue, which is not as breathable and it's just not as comfortable. Sorry, it's just not. But that's not to say this is an uncomfortable shoe. This is just super comfortable. So if you need all the protective features of a more trail-oriented or gravel-oriented running shoe, but also want to be able to run on roads as well in one shoe, then you got to go for this one because it is certainly more capable and it's more durable. There you have it. I hope that helped you decide on which one to get. And if you didn't even know about this shoe, I'm sorry to give you more decisions to make. But all in all, the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel is definitely worth $160. It's a fantastic shoe. If I didn't answer one of the questions that you had in your mind before you click play on this video, just drop it in the comments down below and I promise I'll get back to you. Well, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate you joining me for this review. And remember, subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews like this one. I always keep things fluff-free so that you get the information you need to decide on whether the shoes I'm currently reviewing are going to be best for you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.